45 is an embarrassment. I can't deal with this temperament. He is so arrogant. I have so much resentment. It just makes me want to scream. How do people think MAGA is the American dream? Let's start the stream.
It is man.
I'm completely unhinged. My rights have been infringed. That man makes me so upset. He's a Nazi and a world threat. I'm completely unhinged. My life has been sent. All his interviews I've been. We need to impeach now. Impeach him now.
John, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
Get out! Help your customer. Fuck off! Fuck off!
I'm completely unhinged.
What's going on? Darth Melvin Party, it is Unhinged. Welcome to the stream. And Gavin Newsom is unhinged. Completely fucking unhinged, and we love it. We love it. Just pulling up his tweet right now. Let's just get into it. Let's just get into this shit. So, I spoke about so Trump comes out and says his thing. Gavin Newsom's interview weeks ago was perhaps the most self-destructive interview I've ever seen. In one fell swoop, he took himself out of even being considered as the presidential nominee of the crazy, as proven at the State of the Union address, Democrats. He said in his speech he was dumb, had low boards, can't read, has dyslexia, and has a mental disorder, a cognitive mess. On top of that, black people are angry because he's obviously a racist, taking a shot. While we all want to be politically correct, having a mental disorder is not a positive campaign event. Also, this was a politically suicidal act. The only thing he didn't say is he is losing his book, but nobody wants to say that about oneself. He is no longer a viable presidential candidate, President Donald J. Trump, on Truth Social. And then Gavin Newsom thinks he's getting them with this response. I spoke about my dyslexia. I know that's hard for a brain-dead moron who bombs children and protects pedophiles to understand. Gavin Newsom is completely unhinged. He is unhinged. He is fucking acting. So Trump knows how to push all the buttons, knows how to piss all these people off. Gavin Newsom is acting like a 20-something-year-old libtard on Twitter, calling people pedophiles. Yeah, pedophile. Yeah, pedophile. The Epstein files prove it, even though it doesn't. Yeah, pedophile. Just, and they act like they don't set an example. They act like they don't set an example with this. The assassination attempt on Trump, it's all because of them, because they say he's a Nazi, they say he's Hitler, and then it's like the hypothetical, well, what would you do with Hitler as a baby or Hitler in the past? Like, Would you intervene? Like it gets people thinking, well, if to stop Hitler, we got to do something. These people are fucking retarded. And it starts with the politicians, it starts with the media, and then when something like this happens, an assassination attempt, which should have been successful, the fact that it didn't happen is either extreme luck or divine intervention, as some may argue. I mean, it's fucking insane. So it's just, I just saw this and it's like, okay, buddy, we're skipping racist, we're skipping sexist. This is the new term of the leftists, pedophile. And I don't know where it goes from here. I guess maybe a murderer is worse. I mean, if you want to make that argument, like what's next? So people are going to be like, you're a murderer. like where are they going to take it from here? I like it. It just doesn't get worse than this term, and they throw it around constantly. Like this is the new insult. So I don't know about you guys. You got much experience going up against the left, and they're like calling you this. It's like I'm already used to it. This is what they do. They're unfucking hinged. You can't treat these people as human because they're not. They're not human. They don't operate in reality. They operate in a little safe space where everyone they hate, or everyone they disagree with is the worst person in the world. Yeah, he's literally Hitler, but I wish him a speedy recovery. Like, that makes no fucking sense. They say he's Hitler, and then I love the clip of him and Obama chatting it up at the funeral, and he's fucking laughing with Trump. Trump gave him a zinger, and then Kamala looked over and was just so disgusted. Oh. Then she had that cuck husband of hers. Man, could you imagine being the first man? Imagine going down in the history books as the first man. The first man. Or the first cuck. It would be horrible. So fuck, man. He is pissed off, Gavin Newsom. And I think one of the reasons why he's so pissed off is Trump derangement syndrome for sure. But because what Trump is saying is completely accurate. If Gavin Newsom didn't already disqualify himself, this latest shit where he's basically saying he's stupid just like black people, like that sunk him. And he knows it too, and the fact that Trump is using it against him, he's fucking pissed. He's unhinged. Oh yeah. I think they all know it's a game, and there's some courtesy. Like they're more friendly behind the scenes. There's more respect. I mean, you see it. It's weird. You see it with the Clintons. It's like they could go and try to like take shots, but they have been like Bill hasn't been saying anything about Trump, and mainly because it's true. Like there's nothing to really say about him. All the Democrats are trying to connect him with the Epstein files, and I did not like how Trump handled the Epstein files at all. But I like kind of understand now why he was hesitant to release them. Because it's like, look at all these unhinged Democrats running around Twitter thinking like he's a pedophile, and it's like, what have they proven? There's these stupid accusations from people. They're running with that, and he knew it. And then it's like, who's been arrested? Who's been arrested from this? Like, who is concrete evidence is a pedophile, and we're locking him up. We're throwing him in jail, and there's a big trial, and hasn't happened. A lot of it is speculative. Democrats eat children. Maybe more. Some of you guys have read more of the Epstein files than me. What I can recall, the biggest thing is the Bill Gates hooking up with Russian hookers. Seen recent photos of Kamala, and she looks horrible. Now, I cannot believe that they are going to let her run for president. I'm still not convinced that they're going to let her do it. It's a terrible idea. Grok, did Trump actually post this? You protect child predators and traffickers in California, clown. You have released thousands of lifers convicted of murder, kidnappings, and sex crimes early from prison. You're a piece of shit. Go on with your big self, queen. I'm dumb and illiterate just like you. What a fucking moron. What a moron, man. In other news, we bombed the shit out of Iran. Dropped a huge fucking bomb on them. So what's going on with this? Is the war going to end soon? I've been seeing stuff. It's like, oh, if we send troops in, it's going to be a big mess. I mean, like, is that even necessary? It just, it just seems like it's a case of fuck around, you find out, and they're finding out. There's the bombing of that school, which is pretty bad. There's mixed reports. Of course, the Democrats are running with it, saying that the U.S. did it. Well, why are they building a school next to a military base? I mean, that's pretty fucked up. They're going to let her run again. Easy win for us. It's just insane. They don't have anyone better. That's why, like, Stephen A. Smith, I'm a little concerned about him because he's more of a centrist compared to the other clowns. Gavin has disqualified himself. Kamala's a total fucking idiot. AOC is a total fucking moron. You got Stephen A. Smith, who's a, TV sports analyst, celebrity. What'd he do? Oh, he's not running? Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to do it now. He's still, what's he, like, early 50s? He doesn't have to do it right now. It's like, look at Trump. Trump was thinking about running for fucking years and didn't get around to it until 2016. Yeah, it's like, as much as people think like, oh, he's a clown, it just, he worries me more than Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom. No, I don't watch Hannity. I'm kind of like indifferent. If not 2028, maybe 2032. Yeah, I mean, if you are like early 50s, mid 50s, like, you don't have to do it now. You can do it 4 years, 8 years from now. See, I think he likes his lifestyle. If he goes into the presidency, his celebrity lifestyle, it's going to completely change. You might want to live it up a little bit for 4 more years, 8 years, and then do it. Stephen A. and Shapiro. Maybe Shapiro and then the eyebrows as the running mate. Cowboys fans ain't voting for Stephen A. Yeah, so if he's out, what is, I guess Gavin is their best choice? Not looking good. It's just I'm seeing so many fucking frauds out there on the internet over this stupid ass Iran war, complaining about Trump and be like, oh. And then you have Nick Fuentes out there literally just said he wants Iran to win this war. He wants us to lose. I don't know how people follow him. I don't know how people follow Candace Owens. But I'm sick of these fucking clowns because 2028 is going to come around and they're going to convince everyone, well, we tried Trump out again. It was a failure. It was bad. Let's go back to the Democrats. Let's go back to the auto pen party. No. Under no circumstance do I want to go back to the Democrats. I don't care if you can prove to me Trump had the worst presidency possible for him. I'll sign up for another 4 years of that. I don't care if his replacement is worse. I will sign up for another 4 years of that. I am not going with the Democrats ever. You can cry all you want about Iran and any other fucking stupid issue. The core basic conservative values, core basic conservative issues, that's always going to be a constant. And you go vote for a Democrat, it's like, oh yeah, maybe the Iran war doesn't happen with a Democrat, which I think is bullshit. I think we'd get another shit like Ukraine. But it's like, then you got more illegals coming in, got more transgenders, more people getting locked up for triggering people online, triggering leftists online. You'll be thrown in jail for that. At the very least, if the Republicans, Democrats, old fucking government's controlled by Israel, and we're getting into wars every 4 years, at the very least, Republicans are in office, I could live a normal life in this country. And that's what these people don't understand. $3 million illegals gone. Weekly average deportations is 14,000. We got to pump those numbers up. Got to pump those numbers up. I feel I can live normally when they're in charge. Democrats get in charge. It's like, what's not good for this country? These activist judges. Unfair court systems. Bunch of fucking clowns. I feel conservative judges are going to give you a more fair ruling. I support DEI, deport every illegal. I mean, it's insane. Try going to Mexico and living there illegally. Try going to any other country living there illegally. They'll get pretty mad about it. And it's funny, you go back to the 90s, them talking about illegal immigration, even Obama. It's just like, what happened? They realized that they could just import a new base of voters, allow them to vote in the elections. Their children can vote in the elections. Give them a bunch of free stuff. If you are a fucking old puppet like that, you should be thrown out. You should be thrown out. Someone should, maybe they got something like this in place. Call to have him removed, and you could like vote on it and be like, and as the evidence clearly, look at this guy. He's a walking corpse. He's not fit to be in this position. I mean, it's common sense, but there's not ever going to be that. Taking a shot at women from Mexico. And they do. They do. Get yourself a fine Republican female. They're out there. And could you imagine being with like a leftist feminist? See, the thing is, these leftist feminist women that like want cuck men that voted for Kamala Harris. The truth is, if they ever met a real man, they would they'd dump their current boyfriend and become a Trump supporter overnight. That's a fucking fact. White dudes for Harris. You can't leave me. I'm a white dude for Harris. Fuentes is a Latinx dude for Harris. Fuck that guy. He's one of the people we need to fuck with on this channel. Him, Harry Sisson. I really think we put our skills towards fucking with some of these other political influencers. I think we can make some noise. Who's this Darth Melvin guy? Chilling in the basement as a white dude for Harris. No woman presidents, by the way. No, it's just, they shouldn't be president. They shouldn't be in the police force. There's certain jobs for men and there's certain jobs for women. Gender roles do exist. Fuck, man. Could you imagine Kamala Harris being the commander in chief? Maybe I'm just a raging sexist. Commander in chief of the biggest military in the world? She'd have to have like a man to be her advisor for that role. It's all these fucking clowns. They're like, oh, Iran, what other war would we be in right now if the Democrats were in office? It's like, have we forgotten about Ukraine? Have we forgotten? That would not have happened under Trump. It would not have happened. Now, Trump said he was going to end the war. He has not done that, unfortunately, but it didn't start under him, and I guarantee it wouldn't have had he been president. Putin wanted to do it for a while, saw fucking Mr. Autopen in there, and decided, well, I'm going to do it. What's Autopen going to do about it? Nothing. Yeah, so I'm hoping, even though it's dragged on a bit, I'm hoping Iran is similar. I don't like I don't like us dealing with foreign countries and wars in general at all. But you know what? If we're gonna do it, you get in and out very quick. Like banging some whore at the bar. You in and out, and see ya. Hopefully, you get no calls later. He's unhinged. Unhinged. He's acting like one of these fucking leftists online, 20-something-year-old leftists. Yep, have I, and Epstein files. Oh, duh. Trump is a Nazi that eats children and rapes children. Oh. And everyone I disagree with online is a PDF file, too. He's acting like that, setting the tone. Why not stop there? I'm not a big fan of doing shit with other countries, but if we're already on a roll, why stop with Iran? Let's keep it going. Yeah, I don't like seeing Americans die. I don't like seeing schools get blown up, regardless who did it. This is a fucked up world, and it's not all black and white. It's not like, oh, a few Americans died, a school got blown up, now I'm voting Democrats in 2028. It's like, no. And it's like that saying, shit happens. You bears no power, the people are pissed. We should just go. We should just fucking take it over. Take it over. Why not? It's close to the U.S. Cuba should have been a state. Invading other countries and starting more wars, not what people voted for. No, it's not. But it's like, yeah, so what are we gonna do about it? Vote Democrat? No, not at all. It's like I said, it's not all black and white. You're not gonna wake up and be like, I am happy with 100% of the shit that is going on. And we get too many panicins, too many people that are fucking crying about it online, trying to influence people. Oh, this is terrible. And you know what's going to happen is exactly what fucking happened in 2020. Democrats win because people were upset with Trump and they thought he did a bad job because of COVID. I mean, I think they rigged the election, but you know, there was a lot of like Trump hate going into 2020. And the same shit's gonna happen in 2028 if more of these panicins keep yapping about bullshit. Too bad fucking Democrats win the midterms in 2028. You'll be crying for Trump. You're a racist. As unhinged as Gavin Newsom. It's because of that why the Democrats lost the popular vote in 2024. It is because people are just tired of it. Tired of it. And the more normal Democrats, if there is such a thing in 2026, we're just like, you know what, dog? We're not really buying the leftists that have consumed this party. We're going to not vote. We're going to vote for Trump this time, but not tell anyone. People have just decided. And it's like you can complain all you want online, call everyone Nazis, call everyone pedophiles. The Republicans, Donald Trump won the popular vote. More people are for Trump than not for Trump. I don't think so. I don't even know if he got married. I feel bad for that fiance of his because she has no idea he's a fraud. No idea. I flat out told that guy, we're coming up on, it's been over a year, I think, since I told him, you're full of shit. That book's not coming out. Jacob. You know, speaking of Jacob, his channel, it's been like 3 months, hasn't uploaded. I'm hoping he doesn't upload for Maul Jablord. And Piers is such a fucking bitch. No, they're just a bunch of crybabies, man. That's all they do. Impeach Trump. How about you wait out the 4 years and then you actually show up to the polls in 2028 because you guys didn't show up in 2024. You fucking lost. Deal with it. Scream 7 should be the real Scream 5. Don't get me started on that. That movie sucked. I don't think I talked about it yet on the Star Wars channel. I could talk about it in depth on Friday. Was it better than Scream 5? Maybe. I like the idea, the plot better. But that's all I'll say for now. Yeah, I think the second one is underrated. The third one, I'm not a fan of. But, like, they changed the idea. It was going to be something different. It was probably going to be pretty cool. But they changed it. Yeah, I think, he got a lot of, black vote, Hispanic vote. I think he got a lot diverse president. You got the Jewish vote. Yeah.
Jobs in the United States. From China.
So kind of going back to what I was saying earlier about the Iran war and stuff, 100% of the things you're not going to be a fan of. But at the end of the day, I'm loyal to the party. I am loyal to the president I voted for. And I voted to let him cook. I voted to let him lead the country, even if things are not looking good or there's some bad stuff that's happening, there's some hardship. I voted for him to lead, not fucking cry about it a year into his presidency and be like, where's Mr. Autopen? We need Autopen back. Oh, Kamala's looking pretty good for 2028. No. I mean, that is ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Man, how is that guy president for 4 years? How are they still letting him make speeches? He had another speech pretty recently. Let's see. Let's see what's on the news. Let's put Iran. Oh, there's a drone attack coming to California. It's funny. California is being targeted when it's like literally the farthest state Or is it the farthest state from Iran, from the Middle East? Wouldn't it be easier to attack the East Coast? Maybe I'm wrong on that. Iran's like right in the fucking middle. Iran is actually closer to California than to Florida. 4,350 miles from California, 6,200 miles from Florida. Wow, you learned something new about geography. I stand corrected. Technically, or I don't know. Let me see. I mean, Alaska's pretty far north. I don't know if that makes a difference. Probably not. Is Iran closer to Alaska or Florida? Iran is. No, it didn't answer the fucking question. So this is why you got to ask the AI. The AI will answer the question properly. Man, I want to get to Florida. I'm fucking sick of winter, snow. I would never move to Alaska. I mean, I guess it's it's the scenery out there, and it's too isolated. Winter sucks. It does. The thing is, there's problems pretty much everywhere in the U.S. It's either you got bad winters, your tornadoes, hurricanes, extremely hot weather, rains a lot. Like, where are you going to find a place where you don't have to worry about natural disasters and it's not overly cold and not overly hot?
Get it together. But I think it was a positive call on that subject. And we obviously talked then about the Middle East. And he wants to be helpful. I said, you could be more helpful by getting the Ukraine-Russia war over with. That would be more helpful. But we had a very good talk, and he wants to be very constructive. Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. On Iran, you called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
Are you talking
but soon.
about days?
I think soon.
Okay, and with respect
Very
to...
soon. Look, everything they have is gone, including their leadership. In fact, there are two levels of leadership, and even actually, as it turns out, more than that. But two levels of leadership are gone. Most people have never even heard about the leaders that they're talking about. So it's obviously been very, very powerful, very effective.
To Cuba, you said that Cuba wants to make a deal.
Yes.
What would the United States get in
Part of the deal. Cuba wants to make a deal.
return for that? And why should Americans trust Marco Rubio to negotiate it?
Well, Marco Rubio is doing a great job. I think he's going to go down as the greatest Secretary of State in history.
Marco Rubio's a great guy. He's doing a tremendous job. I did completely own him in the 2016 debates, and he had a meltdown bigger than I've ever seen before. But he's come a long way, little Marco, since then.
A friendly takeover. It may not be a friendly takeover. It wouldn't matter because they're down to, as they say.
That meltdown against Chris Christie was fucking great. He just kept repeating himself. The rehearsed 15-second speech. And then Alex Jones got at him. I have the clip here.
Enough to take my First Amendment? Oh, he'll beat me up.
I didn't say
Yeah,
that.
I know I am, but he's so mad. You're not going to silence me. You're not going to silence America.
But there are
You
people.
are literally like a little gangster thug.
There are people in this country.
Rubio
who feel-
just threatened to physically take care of me.
There are people who
Look at
feel.
that.
Physically take care of me.
Fumes, and Venezuela sends them no energy, no fuel, no oil, no money, no nothing. They lived without Venezuela, they couldn't have made it, and we cut them off from everything else. So, they're going to make either a deal or we'll do it just as easy anyway. Yeah. Please, go ahead.
There's footage that shows that an American missile strike and a Tomahawk missile likely destroyed that Iranian girls' school. So will the U.S. accept any responsibility
Well, I
for
haven't
that strike?
seen it, and I will say that the Tomahawk, which is one of the most powerful weapons around, is used by, is sold and used by other countries, you know that. And whether it's Iran, who also has some Tomahawks, I wish they had more, but whether it's Iran or somebody else, the fact that a Tomahawk is very generic, it's sold to other countries, but that's being investigated right now.
Are these other countries, Iran or people that don't like the U.S., are fucked up enough to do something like that? So, who knows? I would like to know definitively what happened.
Yeah, please. Thank you. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. It's all been blown up. They have no radar. They have no.
Hasn't his hair been very gray? Now it kind of looks more blonde. Did he recently dye his hair? That hair is fucking insane how it's done. He needs to just like go live one day or do like upload a video on how his hair is done. Maybe have Jacob on with him. It's just grown out on the sides and it's looped and swooped and flopped over. I mean, it's a work of art.
No telecommunications. The Air Force is gone. Everything's gone. The missiles are down to a trickle. The drones are down to probably 25%, and they'll soon be down to nothing. We'll have where they manufactured the drones are under fire as we speak. They're being hit. So the rest is going to be determination as to my attitude, along with the people in the Trump administration, what we want to do. Thank you. Yeah, please.
Can I ask you, you mentioned you were going to waive certain additional oil waivers or sanctions. Can you talk a little bit more about that and address in particular?
Well, we're looking to keep the oil prices down. We went artificially up because of this excursion into a very positive thing. I mean, this was an excursion that a lot of people wouldn't have done. I knew oil prices would go up if I did this, and they've gone up probably less than I thought they'd go up.
Man, they're not fucking talking about it. Is YouTube suppressing it?
Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're watching from today. I'm filming this on March 11th, and we have more updates as a massive bomb has hit Iran, marking what might be the biggest explosion of the war so far, as well as oil targets in the region completely on fire, fall right away. So this is an explosion in Qud City following a U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iranian positions. It is possible an oil facility may have been hit. We do not know, but this is bombing footage confirmed as of today on March 11th. This might be the biggest explosion we have seen in the war so far. I'll get into maybe what bombs were dropped that we used prior in Afghanistan. I don't think this is a Moab. There's been some debate whether or not a Moab would be used. The Moab is one of the biggest bombs in the world, also previously used in Afghanistan, to see this out to the end. So they continue to strike oil targets, these targets in Oman. And right here, you can see another look following the drone strike, multiple drone strikes, multiple targets hit, massive amount of damage caused. Unclear at this time whether or not the facility and operations have been completed.
Dynamic and decisive.
Every Iranian ship we see in the Strait gets sunk, and now every ship that's docked is dead.
Here, you see an Iranian Jamaran-class warship, a large patrol ship, a drone smuggling vessel, and 4 other surface combatants docked at Chabahar port in the Gulf of Oman the day before we launched Operation Epic Fury. Here's the same pier 4 days later, all ships taken out of action. Here you see 2 Iranian surface combatants docked at an Iranian naval base near the Strait of Hormuz, just hours into the campaign. And here's what they look like 3.
We just need to make life a living hell for some political influencers. And I think we could do it. I got enough experience on the internet to make some noise. And what I've learned is these people, they see shit. They see shit, you know, like the Star Wars channels. I don't care how big they are, they see what's going on the internet. Harry Sisson, that's a good idea. Harry Sisson CD. I do need to get to make some songs, some like really good songs, and do some sort of like music video. Something good. I don't think we'll get to the Gabriel Knight level, but you know, like something respectable as far as like a music video goes. Just for something for a like a viral type song. Harry Sisson, Pole Smoker.
Three days later, engulfed in flames after we struck them with a precision weapon.
60 ships are gone, and now their ports are next. The president warned Iran to lay off the strait, but overnight, a Thai tanker got clipped along with 2 others. And now another tanker off the coast of Iraq was also just hit. Trump's responding. Central Command's warning Iranian citizens to leave all Iranian ports. So far, we haven't targeted Iran's oil infrastructure. It could get lit up tonight. Operation Epic Fury is just about over 10 days in, and 5,500 targets have been struck. Over the last 24 hours, Iran has only launched 9 ballistic missiles. 9. U.S. firepower has decimated Iranian stockpiles, and now we're pivoting and hitting their defense industrial base. A ballistic missile manufacturing plant just got popped. This is critical to the mission. Disarm them and prevent them from rearming. The president telling Axios that the Air Force is running out of targets. There's practically nothing left to hit. Certain targets we're saving for later in case they don't behave.
They've lost their Navy. They've lost their Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft apparatus at all. They have no radar. Their leaders are gone. And we could do a lot worse to one another. We're leaving certain things that if we take them out, or we could take them out by this afternoon, in fact, within an hour, they literally would never be able to build that country back.
No one's seen or heard from the new Ayatollah. He's allegedly wounded, hiding in a bunker, and people think he has, quote, the charisma of a boiled potato. Soon he won't be able to pay his troops. Iran's largest bank was just hit in a missile strike. It's responsible for paying members of the Iranian military and the Guard. The country's already in a currency crisis. We're hearing some reports of desertions, and that could accelerate if there's no payday Friday. Trump tells.
Man, could you imagine being in that country right now? They were celebrating when they first attacked. Could you imagine being in that government, the new government, the new Iranian order?
Telling Axios he can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
You just said it is a little excursion, and you said it is a war. So which one is it?
Well, it's both. It's both. It's an excursion that will keep us out of a war. For them, it's a war. For us, it's turned out to be easier than we thought.
Tehran's only plan is to wait it out and hold the energy market hostage. After hitting tankers and refineries, Iran's threatening to hit Middle East banks. But their biggest target, the Strait. They haven't mined it, but they haven't made it smooth sailing.
They started talking about mines, so we hit 28 mine ships as of this moment, 28. Using the same weapon, the exact same weapon that we use against the drug dealers in the water.
The United States cannot let Iran control the Strait, or even appear to control the Strait. The United States would lose power and prestige, and it would put a high bottom on oil prices. Ghost tankers are going out with Iranian oil over to China, but our allies' oil is under threat, and that's unacceptable. Chubb, one of the world's largest.
Yesterday was the most intense day of U.S.
I just want to see what Joe Rogan had to say about this.
I think you're going to see a disastrous election. It just seems so insane based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars, and then we have one that we can't even really clearly define why we did it.
Well, but he said he's against endless wars.
Well, they're
running
all,
against endless wars.
Listen, man, they're all endless.
That's right. Yeah. Right. So.
That's right. That's right. Go Ukraine. Go Ukraine. All these fucking bitches love Ukraine. I don't want to listen to them. Well, let's see what AOC has to say. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. When was the last time she went live? 3 days ago.
would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan?
You know, I think that this is such a, I think that this is this is, of course, a very longstanding policy of the United States.
AOC taking heat after that fumble in Munich earlier this month, but now she's pointing the finger at President Trump and her.
Oh, of course. I'm an idiot, but it's Trump.
Hi there, Congresswoman. What do you say to Democrats who voted for this DHS funding bill to fund ICE? And what do you say to Democrats in the Senate who are considering giving?
The overwhelming majority of Democrats, over 200 Democrats, voted against this DHS and ICE funding bill today, and I think it is extremely important that everyone across the country recognize that. There are hundreds of members of Congress. Some are going to vote differently, but at the end of the day, Democrats stood in almost unanimity against this DHS bill, and that's how it should have been.
But
their doors, they deserve to be defunded. I'll take any step in that direction.
Are you frustrated then?
All right, so will you take in illegals and home them, live with them?
That leadership effectively cut a deal to fund them, and
how about you donate your salary to helping home illegal immigrants?
Implement very limited reforms.
Things that she negotiated for labor, for health care.
Fucking dumb bitch. There's not much relevant stuff with her recently.
He impulsively went in on Venezuela. He impulsively went in on Iran. There was no exit and no end game for either of these situations. It led to increased global instability everywhere he goes, and every time he's done that, it has been consistent with a spike or a revelation in what is happening with the Epstein files. I don't think that coincidence is something to dismiss off the cuff. I think that he feels existentially tied to it. And I actually think that it is one reason that he must be removed from office, because if the Epstein files has such a hold on President Trump and this administration that they are willing to plunge us and risk world war in order to save themselves politically, that is a person, the definition
proud to be a bartender
of someone that cannot.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right. That's right. No, I'm proud to be a bartender. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Venezuela. Everything's a distraction. Yeah, Dad, he's in Iran to distract from the Epstein files. No, people are still talking about the Epstein files. There's no distraction. Maybe that might work back in the day, but not now. The age of information. Things don't go away. Things don't get buried. Her horse teeth aren't as bad as Carly's. Any talk about her being a nominee in 2028? She's pretty young and she's retarded. I believe she will be 35. They're over 35. But the thing with her is, if they think she's going to be the next big thing for the party, which is insane, like 2032, 2036, even 2040. She's still very young. Not pulling that good. What I think is, I think she'd be better off. I think putting her on any ticket is absolutely fucking insane. But if they were going to go that route, probably do a VP role. Start her out. To be honest, she might actually do better than Newscum. Newscum ruined California, is clearly racist and thinks he's stupid and illiterate. Just like black people, according to him. You got Kamala Harris, who's a first-class moron. Yeah, it just AOC, just because she's younger. A lot of, like, the Gen Z, probably the retarded people in Gen Z probably like her. East Palestine Pete. All right, our first gay president. Well, technically, he's not our first gay president. First openly gay president? Yeah, that's true. I just think she's retarded. Like, look at that gaffe we just went over. She's not someone. I mean, contradicting myself. Look at Autopen Biden. I think they would want to put her out there because they would just literally, it would be like Biden's presidency. They probably love that. You know, the elites, the Illuminati, or the shadow government, whatever you want to call them, they probably loved when Biden was in office. And so they would just do the same thing. She would just be a face. She would just be a puppet. Because clearly she can't stand on her own 2 feet. Has to be told what to say. Doesn't really believe in anything. Yeah. I mean, I can see why they did Kamala. Just because she was the VP of Biden, and it's like doubling down on Biden. They probably knew they were fucked. They're like, we're not going to run Gavin out there short notice, and we got no one else. It's shocking they didn't have anyone else. Well, I mean, they should have foresaw this instead of having Biden go out there and not even having a primary. You know, but maybe that was the plan from the beginning because they knew they were going to swap out Kamala and they didn't want to primary her. I mean, who knows? But she had no chance of winning. It would have looked pretty bad had they not gone with her and gone with someone else, because it would have just been like, yeah, the whole Biden presidency, the Biden ticket. Kamala was a diversity hire. But it's just crazy that they have no plan for 2028. We're in 2026. And it's, 2028 is going to come sooner than you think. And they got no one. Gavin Newsom, the guy who ruined California. But the good news is we got a little more 3 years more of Trump. Maybe 7. Maybe 7. Whatever. I don't care what the Republicans do with that. I think it's a bad precedent to set. We could end up paying for it years down the road. If a Democrat takes advantage of 3 terms, 4 terms. But I will definitely have my popcorn for that if it happens. Oh yeah, that's huge. That is huge. Yeah, if for somehow we lose 2028, 2032, give me a different ball field. I think if we go back to a Democrat 4 years, I don't think they will destroy the country. You give them 8 years, they probably will destroy the country. 12 years, 3 terms in a row guaranteed, they will destroy the country. But Nick Fuentes would love that, you guys. He would love another 8 years, 2 terms, 3 terms of Democrats, and then we'll get a magical Republican to come in who's America first, everyone. Who's more MAGA than Donald Trump. And then you know what's going to happen if that scenario plays out with Nick Fuentes, his dream scenario, is he's going to bitch about the new savior of the Republican Party. Going to bitch about him, be like, oh, Israel's controlling him. Oh, he's not really America first. Let's vote for the Democrats again. That's what he's going to say. He'll never be happy with who's America first, the American first Republican candidate. So, I think he's just he's a liberal, maybe a Fed as well. I think if you don't like who's in charge right now, I think it's best to just try to improve upon that than being like, I'm going to become a liberal. I'm going to vote the other way. No, we can only improve. And if it will never get to your satisfaction, like we're always just going to have neocons, people that are controlled by Israel, military industrial complex, and just all this bullshit that you're never going to be happy with, well, you know, then that's probably life. That's it. That's your reality. But you know what? It's better than having everyone be genderless. There's a million different ways that the Democrats can fuck up your actual life. Like you get up, go to work in the morning. Does it matter that we're in Iran right now bombing the shit out of them? No, it doesn't. Like it really doesn't. Does it matter they bombed a school, as terrible as that is? No, it really doesn't. You know what does matter is when you run into like 20 different genderless people during the day. You use the wrong pronouns and you get fucking fired. You're forced to take a fucking vaccine or get fired, get evicted from your home, and you have fucking politicians pushing for that. It's like that's more important to our daily lives than the military-industrial complex, than conspiracy theories about Israel, the Epstein files, like all the sick shit they're doing. It's like, yeah, it's like we don't want that to be happening. But it's like you can only control what you can control, and that's your daily life. And I am 100% convinced that the Republicans, for your daily life, is much better to be in power than the Democrats. So when I see people bitching online, crying about shit, and they're probably going to vote Democrat in 2028, fuck them. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And like if we ended up doing it, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. It's not a bad look. But, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris. I'll tell you that. Now, how many people have died with the open border with fentanyl? How many people have died from illegal immigrants crossing the border, getting released from prison? There's consequences to every decision. Man, let's bring on the fucking aliens. I just don't get it, man. You can bitch about a lot of policies, but really doesn't affect your daily life. What does affect your daily life are like the main core issues of conservatism, liberalism. And just because there's a few things that you didn't like doesn't mean the other side, you're going to like the other side. I wish we had more time to fuck with people like Nick Fuentes, Harry Sisson. Harry Sisson, though, he gets a lot of shit on Twitter, but who's been coming at him on YouTube? Who's been coming at him on Rumble? I don't think anyone. Who's got like a 20 video Harry Sisson playlist? So I don't know if we ever have to do a reformat the whole brand. We'll have a lot of stuff to do on this channel. And there's definitely a lot of there's a lot of like Alex Stein, Tom Green stuff that could be done with politics that no one's like really doing. Ran out all the groypers when we made fun of Fuentes. We had a few in here crying. He's proven to be a fucking liberal. I don't want to hear his America First bullshit. He's a fucking liberal. And I do not want to see a Democrat in office. I don't want to see them in control of the House, the Senate, Supreme Court, nothing. Bigfoot, man. And when are we going to know about the aliens? Do you think Trump is going to reveal the aliens before he leaves office? I just want to know about the aliens. Just tell us that they're real. Tell us that they're interdimensional, that they've been here for thousands of years, and that humans need to get over themselves. We're not that important. Or maybe we are important, but there's other beings out there that are also important. Just let us know. I think they're warming us up to it. That's what I feel. I don't know how they can keep it a secret. I mean, they have for years, but it's just they've slowly been talking about it more and more, where it's like it's normal to be like, "Oh, I saw a UAP." People don't like people aren't called crazy anymore over it. Does he really? Man, and Trump has to be the one to do it because Trump wants to be remembered for shit. And like, this is some epic shit. If he was the one to tell everyone, hey, aliens are real, I'm going to tell you about the aliens, it's like, he would go down in history books. He should be the one to tell us. I just want to know, man.
So uncivilized.
Hell yeah. And it's crazy that we've only been a country for 250 years. It's a long time, but like, really, it's like not that long. I mean, how many lifetimes is that? Like 80 years times 3, 240. Yeah, it's nothing. Check, check, check. Stupid fucking StreamYard. I was trying to click on shit, and it wouldn't let me, and I was bitching about it, and it kicked me out. Computer's been acting funny. I gotta, like, complete my update, and it was just kind of, like, freezing before I started the stream, just like other programs.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Yeah, my computer's been acting like Biden. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it for tonight. Again, I'd love to get more structure on these streams. We got a little more numbers on Rumble today. I think people are liking the thumbnail. Triggered Gavin Newsom. Maybe we'll bring the triggered Gavin Newsom back. My streaming computer, Windows. All the shit I edit on, I use a Mac. The Melvin operation is big time. You know, we don't have secondhand laptops like channels like Lightspeed. You know, new computers, expensive computers, top of the line equipment. Yeah, it's a legit operation, I'm telling you. Not like fag speed. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll be here on Friday for the Star Wars stream for sure. And for the fans of that channel, maybe a release on Saturday. Shill Wars, maybe. If not Saturday, maybe Sunday. Probably definitely Sunday. Be a little ahead of schedule. So, thanks again, guys. We'll be here next week, trying to make this a regular thing, grow this fucking channel, and I'll see you later.